Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo Grandmaster run, Battlegrounds, with Titan. For my subclass, I'll be using Fist of Havoc. Here are the mods and fragments I'll be using in this video. For my kinetic, I'll be using the Tina Stasis sidearm. Next I'll be using the Monarque. For my heavy, I'll be using a Void Linear Fusion Rifle. For my exotic, I'll be using synthoceps. This week we're gonna go on Titan. And I gotta be really honest, I did not enjoy this Battlegrounds. As you guys know, I hate Battlegrounds, so there's gonna be a lot of jokes and a lot of console aim assist, which I will mention. So I wanted to clear out all of these ads, and yes, there we go. We're gonna deal with knights. We're gonna have a lot of flinches. I mean, look at that flinch. I'm trying to get my precision shots. I'm on red health. Gosh, I just love Battlegrounds. Isn't it just fun? I mean, look at my health. It's on red. I did put the fragment knocked out so I can punch them, especially the thralls at the other encounter. I'm using Tina so I can slow the enemies down. And there's gonna be a swarm of ads. Mainly, the quickest way to get this done is just kill the champions. Once you take down all the champions, then you'll go to your next objective. That's the key for this horrendous Battlegrounds. And did I mention that I'm gonna have a lot of auto aim assist and flinch in this GM? I did decide to use my super because, well, why not? I mean, I had my super and we got the unstoppable champion being aggressive. I mean, look at him. He just wants me to get knocked out to the death pit. I am gonna pull back because there's gonna be another unstoppable champion. I mean, if you guys thought that's it, okay, no more champions. Yeah, you're gonna be so disappointed because now we have another unstoppable champion. And you know what's even better? We're gonna have another barrier champion. So it's gonna be a bunch of champions for this encounter. And Banes. Did I mention that the Banes are RNG, meaning that it's random? It's not fixed, but they are putting more of Hypernova nuclear Banes. For some reason, I really despise them. I think they secretly buffed them as well, but that's just me. I'm not sure why it's happening. Did I mention that there's a ship up in the air? Did you know you can take down the ships? It takes around 5 bullets for the aggressive burst linear fusion rifle, 4 to 5. Did I also mention that you can just clear down the champions and the ship will go away? Also, the auto aim assist flinch. I mean, I just really love this part. This is my favorite part throughout this whole video because now PC players can see the pain that I have to deal with. I mean, look at this. I'm trying to get my precision shots. I'm like, okay, I gotta switch. Okay, precision shots. Unstoppable champion. Remember the unstoppable champion that we took down a minute ago? Well, another one appears. See, that's the key for this. You must take down all the champions as fast as you can. And I did feel like skipping the Lucent warrior. I didn't want to deal with him. Alright. He was already a disappointment of the worst Titan ever, and I don't really want to go past the stairs. I did decide to pick up some ammo because I'm so disappointed on the Titan Lucent enemy, and he's a fake Titan, let's just be honest. I don't want to face him. I'm going to skip him. I'll still get platinum rank. That's the good news. You can skip the Lucent warrior if you want to. For me, I just decided to just skip him. Skip him, just hang around over here, not pass through the door. Because the problem is if you pass through the door, then the Cabal will spawn and all the champions will be focusing on him. And then the Lucent warrior will appear. But all this flinches is really stressful. Imagine you have to start all over again a GM And every time you start this encounter, you have to deal with auto flinch. Flinch here and there, you can't get your precision shots. It just makes life really painful, doesn't it? And you'll see more of the auto aim assist for this GM. I'll mention it. So if you see my character moving quickly to the left or right, it's not me, okay? It's the game. It's the aim assist. Nothing I can do, by the way. I mean, I try to make my guardian move to the precision shots, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Alright, so now we're going to deal with another stoppable champion. How many champions did we take down? I think we took down probably maybe 8 or 9. Maybe we're going to go for 10 very soon. But yeah, there's a bunch of champions. There's 2 bigger champions. There's a Bane. Bane up ahead that is harassing me. Just going to pop a barricade. Oh, we got a Nova, Hyper Nova Bane. Well, time to take him down. I mean, look at that. I'm trying to quickly take him down. He's regaining his health. We got these major knights trying to harass me. I mean, wow. All this flinch is really making my life easier, right? I am using a linear fusion rifle just to clear out the ads more quicker. Well, to do DPS more quicker. After it says objective complete, I am out of here. I'm gonna ignore all these Arc Knights. Fun fact, by the way, let's talk about history. Did you know that there were 2 bigger champions, but now they replaced them with little mini Arc Knights? The reason why is because I think they added way too many champions and they decided to replace them with Arc Knights. So now you know. Isn't that fantastic? Just to let everyone know that is the truth. There was 2 bigger champions, but they removed them and replaced them with the Arc Knights. Now we're gonna go for the best objective ever. I like to call it the Pain of Portal Ritual. For me, it's painful. So we are gonna dunk 1 orb and we're gonna pull back because we're gonna have 2 champions. It says a champion has appeared. It says 2, it doesn't tell you exactly which one. But there is going to be an unstoppable champion and a barrier. I'm gonna stand here so they can push. As in they can walk towards me because I don't wanna walk towards them because we got wizards. I mean, look at these guys. Wow. They just walk towards me. And that's basically what you want for this encounter. You don't want to really chase them. You want them to walk towards you for this section because we're going to be dealing with wizards. And the wizards can sometimes be a bane. And it's RNG. Everyone's run is always going to be different for this footage, especially dealing with the wizards. So for this objective, I got the Drainer Bane. And I jinxed this encounter because I didn't want to get a Drainer, but I got it. So we're going to collect the moat or 1 moat. And we're going to try to collect 3 of them. And they're called the Taken Essence, but we're going to call them orbs. So we got 2 orbs, Taken orbs. We got 2 of them. We need 1 more. Now I was debating to pull back or stand here. So I'm just gonna stand here, maybe wait for my super, and just look for a wizard. So 1 wizard should push, like 1 from the left side. Lucky day for the Titan. I mean, we collect 1 moat. Now we got 3. We're gonna go to the middle. I'm gonna run, amplify my Titan all the way to dunk the orb or take an orb. So when it's 4 out of 12, that's when the Streaker spawns in. And we have 2 of the Lucent Hunters. Yeah, about that. So remember I made fun of the Titan Lucent Warrior? You know, we made jokes about him being a disappointment for Titans. Yeah, so there's a Hunter, and for some reason he's quite more dangerous than the wannabe Titan. the wannabe hunter is actually pretty good. And he's very aggressive. Some of his supers or attacks can one-shot you depending on the modifier, which is solar threat. And because I don't want to chase him and I really don't want to mess with him because of the auto aim assist and all that, and I don't really want to really anger him, I'm just gonna try to bait him. But anyway, what I'm doing here is waiting for my super. I'm gonna use my super on the Lucent Hunter. And the reason why I'm gonna go for that method is because I can take down one of the Lucent Hunters. Then after that, I could just hang around at the left side and just let the second Lucent Hunter walk towards me. It's a win-win for me, but the bad thing is aim assist is gonna be my worst enemy for this area. For me, I don't know about anyone else, but that was my problem when doing this method. I mean, it was really cool method. I really like this method, but the aim assist is just not my best friend. It's not console friendly. You'll see what I mean very soon. But anyway, I decided to hang around here. I'm gonna wait for the other hunter Lucent warrior to walk towards me. I think he got upset because, well, I did make fun of his Titan friend, so, and I didn't go one-on-one on him on this GM, so I'm pretty sure he has good reasons. But yeah, this guy is very dangerous. I mean, I even got a grenade trap mine. I mean, it's that crazy. But yeah, I was trying to aim for him, but the auto flinch was just really unfriendly towards me. I was trying. The thrall was messing up my aiming. I was like, okay, come on, precision shots. And then I'm gonna go and crush the ghosts. Crush the ghosts. Gotta crash it. I'm gonna be farming for my super so I could take down the, I would say, the wizards. So now your objective is to clear ads, farm super, and then collect the orbs or the motes. We need 3 taken orbs. After you do that method, then you just need 1 more mote to dunk the left side mote. So mainly you need to dunk 4 motes in the middle and then the right and left. We're at the left side. And I'm just gonna punch them because I couldn't do precision shots with my bow. And they were just being so bizarre with me. I mean, look at this. These guys want me to be sent back to orbit. So I'm gonna use my super. I didn't want to use my super, but it was just getting out of control. We also have these Arc Knights also being aggressive towards me. So I'm gonna collect another mote. I'm gonna collect another mote, hopefully. I was looking for one. I was like, oh dear, he's all the way from the back. Well, what a bummer. I'll just go back farming for my super. You can also just push and then just grab the mote. Well, just push and just take down the other wizard. But I didn't do that method. I think in my honest opinion, there's supposed to be 3 Lucent warriors, but I think there is a way to skip one of them just to deal with just 2 Lucent hunter warriors. And to do that is to always dunk 3, and of course 1 for the 4th one. I think that's basically what you have to do, but I could be wrong because I remember in the old battlegrounds, I remember that I had to deal with 3 Lucent hunter warriors, but for some reason for this footage, I was dealing with 2. I was dealing with 2. So now we have 7 out of 12, so remember, you only need 1 more mote. 1 more mote. And then we're gonna have another Shrieker. And champions. Now, people will say, yeah, pull back from the back. Yes, you could do that, but for me, it just wasn't working for my Titan class. Maybe my Hunter would work, but it just wasn't working for me for this build. So I just decided to just hang around here, fight with console aim assist. I just love it. I mean, look at this. Let me get my precision shots here. Alright, I'm gonna go and get that mode. So I was trying to get the mode, and there was more ads. They were just really being out of control. I mean, I really want to get that moat. I really do. But it just was so weird. Now, I was so focused on the wizard. I'm trying to remember if I did dunk the orb or I went for another taken essence. So now I'm going to dunk the 4th orb, and it's 8 out of 12. So 8 out of 12 is when champions appear. You can see that champions appear, and remember, this is when you really have to be very aggressive. And you must take down the champions. And the support champion pushed first, so I'm going to take him down. But like I said, I'm trying to get my precision shots. Auto aim assist is just really irritating me. I'm trying so hard to be nice right now, but trust me, this is really irritating to do. And we're also going to have a major ogre. So once I took down the champions, then it got easier to control the surroundings. But that's the problem with this method. If you're playing on PlayStation or Xbox, you're going to have a lot of flinch and auto aim assist issues. I had to like consistently fight it off because Barry doing ballerina twirls because he wants to go to these dancing lessons. And remember that there is also a shrieker up ahead. That's why I hide behind this wall, because I didn't want the shrieker to take down my guardian. So now we're going to collect some motes. So we got one of them, and we should be able to get another one. There was a bang wizard, so I had to pull back. And then I was thinking, should I go and try to take down that wizard, or should I just hang around here and just farm my super? So I was just debating what I was gonna do for this situation. So then I decided, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna hang around here, because I just really didn't want to bother myself trying to speedrun this, because it was already a headache of dealing with the flinch and auto aim. So one wizard should push, and once one of the wizards push, make sure you use your linear fusion rifle. I don't know why I was using that Monarque. I should have just switched to my linear fusion rifle to take down the wizards. I think because I got fed up with the aim assist and the flinch, I just got really tired, and I just didn't want to use my linear fusion rifle anymore, because I had around 5 from what I'm looking for my footage, and I could have used my linear fusion rifle or my sidearm, but I think I was just already irritated for this GM. Once you collect 3, then you go and run for your life. Amplify to dunk the orb if you can. Anyway, there was too many ads, so I just decided to just clear the ads. But like I said, I think during this dunk or this orb, you can skip one Lucent warrior. I could be wrong, because maybe they did some changes and I have to look at my old videos, because I remember when I was on my hunter run, there were 3 Lucent hunter warriors, 3 of them, but I could be wrong. So we're gonna dunk the last orb. There was a lot of ads. When you are dunking the orb, you need to make sure your health is good. It's not red, because the worst scenario is you dunk the orb and then you die, and you don't want that to happen. That means you have to start all over again, and it's a pain. I did decide to use my super, but I didn't mean to. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm gonna get my super back since it is a roaming super. Another thing I should have done is I should have picked up the heavy, but I wasn't really paying attention of the heavy bricks or the heavy box. So now we're gonna go to the next area. It just gets better and better. So we probably took down a bunch of champions, probably maybe 15, maybe more, but here's the sad news. We're gonna deal with more champions. Great. Now, if I wanted to, I could try to save that poor innocent Cabal soldier, but because I was just so slow, I had to make him as a sacrifice and take down the unstoppable champions. I didn't mean to, but there was really nothing I could do. I really wanted to save that poor fella, but he realized that the battlegrounds is just hideous and, you know, there was just no point of him surviving, so I just feel bad for him. But anyway, we took down the 2 unstoppable champions. And then we should have the mini boss, the final boss to spawn. So I did push and then pull back so I can just get my precision shots. And it's just gonna be a fantastic, great GM because now we're gonna be dealing with the final boss. Now I could have gone closer to the final boss, but he was throwing his arc pulse grenades towards me on the other runs or the other attempts that I did. I was a little worried, so that's why I decided to just hang around in this little spot. And I forgot to mention, maybe they removed it. I could be wrong about this, but if you pull back, there's actually a secret shrieker that can literally wipe out your whole team. That's why I didn't pull back or went all the way back from the map. Because once the final boss spawns, then there's a secret shrieker all the way from the back middle. And from what I remember from my old run, I had to take down the shrieker to do DPS at the boss. Because the old version, I think this boss was way more aggressive than right now. They did make this boss a little bit easier, non-aggressive. Because he used to throw a lot of arc grenades. His super can shoot from that spot where I was standing. But it looks like they nerfed him a little bit. But they did some updates with the Sapphadon Ghost, which I really despise. So there's going to be many time skips of me doing DPS at the staff with the Sapphadon Ghost. So now we're going to have our super, we're going to clear down all these ads because there's going to be a bunch of them. I just want to clean up. I don't want them to throw fire at me because it's already painful as it is. So once I pull back, I'm gonna go and just do DPS towards the final boss. So during the first phase, this boss isn't so bad. I mean, yes, he does like to throw arc pulse grenades. You know, I jinxed it. I said he wasn't so bad, but just throw an arc pulse grenade. Great. I had the Lucent warrior throwing trap mines, and now I have this wizard throwing arc pulse grenades. What else could go wrong for this GM for my solo? Because I always get bad luck. And I despise battlegrounds. I just wish to remove all battlegrounds. Please, just remove them. Replace them with the sunset strikes or the Destiny 1 strikes. Because battlegrounds, I just feel like it's not made for GMs. But that's my opinion. Everyone would agree or disagree. I did mention this on my Twitter account. Some people disagree with me and some people agree with me. Alright, we're gonna do DPS at the boss and then we're gonna deal with Sapphadon Ghosts. I'm gonna do many time skips when I'm dealing with the Sapphadon Ghosts very soon. So let's talk about the Sapphadon Ghosts. So I noticed that the animation's a bit different from the previously, and we are gonna have 2 champions. And let me just say, these champions are the most gentlemen, most behaved champions you will ever see. They're gonna go slowly up the stairs. The only thing you have to worry about is the acolytes flinching you. I mean, look at that. We got the Navi the fairy. We got a lot of things going on. So we got the first champion. Make sure you take them down quickly. Quickly as possible. Which is why I decided to use the linear fusion rifle. We're gonna have the unstoppable champion walking up the stairs like a gentleman. Very soon. Eventually. I mean, he will. I promise you, he will. Let me take down these acolytes. They're just in the way. We got another Navi the fairy. And we got the Sapphon throwing storm grenades, storm collar, or grenade lightning towards me. Alright, we got the champion. He's walking up the stairs. See? Didn't I tell you he was such a gentleman? So now make sure you take down the champion as fast as you can. Because if you don't, then he will push and he will take you down. Now we're going to be dealing with the staff. So the boss behaves very weird. And the storm lightning can one-shot you. And sometimes put you on red health. Now the problem with this is the Sapphon Ghost does roam a lot. And he can be unpredictable. And that is something that I was struggling when dealing with this Sapphon Ghost, because one, he does this storm lightning attack like that, which is scary. And another thing he likes to do is throw a Nova Bomb and Archive Blast. So there's just 3 things that the boss can do, and the 4th one is he likes to fly a bit more. He doesn't like to stay in one spot. And it just can be really stressful. So for me, I was trying to figure out why is he being aggressive. And the only thing I can think of is you will have to just pick up the staff very quickly. Or just manipulate the boss, make him move from the left side or the right side, and then quickly pick up the staff. I mean, that's one method. Or the most boring method is, which I found out later, is you pull back, you crouch, and then eventually the boss will get bored of you and then fly all the way from the back. And that's basically what I did eventually. I didn't want to deal with him anymore because I got tired of trying to make him move, picking up the arc staff, and it was just too much work for me. Okay, my thumbs on my controller was hurting me really bad. And that was the problem with this GM. It was just really hurting my thumbs and I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So the more DPS you do, the more aggressive the boss starts to be, where he starts to fly a bit more closer to you, where it's really hard to pick up these staff. But you'll see what I mean eventually. I'm gonna fast forward this. So I decided to pick up the arc staff and then we have to do DPS at the boss. But if you notice, the lower the health of the boss, the more aggressive she likes to be. She likes to hang around in the middle. It's really awkward. But you can see the boss just hanging around there. You will have to jump from the left side to make the boss move. It's just so weird. But later on, I did figure out that the boss appears to move when you are trying to pick up the relic. But yeah, you see the boss right now, he's aggressive. He knows I'm here. He can shoot from the chase spot. See, I was trying to figure out why is this boss being weird. It's because he can see me. I have to pull back, crouch, and make this boss not pay attention to me. But anyway, that was just something I should have done. I didn't figure out the crouch hide method until later on. Because I was jumping, I was like, maybe if I jump, he'll move away. No, it just made the situation worse. It really made the situation worse. Alright, so now I'm gonna pick up the relic. Isn't this fun? I'm having the best day ever. But you notice you pick up the relic and then the boss starts to fly towards the middle. Yeah, this is great. Alright, so I figure out that the boss does behave if I pull back and crouch. So now I'm doing the method finally after 10 minutes of trying to figure out about this behavior of this boss. I crouch, he's bored of me, and now I can go ahead and then pick up the relic. But you see, you try to pick up the staff and the boss just behaves so weird. Anyway, we're gonna go to the next phase. So now you know the method how to deal with this boss. I would call it the boring way, but I just don't have patience to manipulate the boss. So now we're gonna do DPS at the boss. Second phase. And I'm gonna use my super because there's a pummel bang which we have to take down. And then we're gonna do DPS at the boss. It's just gonna be great. Then the second phase is gonna be probably the toughest because we're gonna deal with 2 Sapphon ghosts. 2 Sapphon ghosts will probably be the most difficult part for this encounter. So what you usually do for this phase is you just clear down the ads, you just go and do DPS with a Monarque or with a linear fusion rifle. So I'm going to keep doing DPS at the boss until we go to the next phase. So this phase isn't really so bad. I mean, sometimes the wizard does like to hide. I have to be honest. I did decide to use my super just to add control. I mean, you don't have to, but for me, they were just bothering me. And I wanted to pick up more. I wanted to pick up more heavy bricks for the next phase. Because I think the next phase we have an ogre, but it's not a champion. So this phase isn't really so bad. I think the worst thing about this GM is just dealing with the ghost Sapphon and picking up the relic or the staff. So I'm going to do a mini time skip here so we can deal with the Sapphon ghosts. Once we do DPS at the wizard, now we get to deal with 2 Sapphon ghosts. So there's 2 methods, and I did the other method because I just didn't have patience. The first method is you just stand there, you hide from the Sapphon ghost from the right side, you deal with the ogre and clear down the ads, and then you pick up the staff from the right side and then do DPS at the left Sapphon ghost. But you have to be careful because the Sapphon ghost from the right side can hurt you if you're not careful. So that means you can't really jump that high. It's really hard to explain because it's a method most players do and you have to be very careful. I didn't really do that method. I did the other method. I decided to grab the staff from the right side, you know, similar like the first option, pull back, and then just do DPS at the Sapphon on the left side. Now the problem with this method is the more DPS you do to deal with the Sapphon from the left side, the more aggressive the ghosts will be, where it's going to hang around near the staff from the left side, and it's gonna fly all the way more front from the left side. So right now I was just crouching so they can get bored of me and fly away. This mainly works with both of them for now, and mainly the Saphathon ghost from the right side. Later on, the Saphathon ghost from the left side is going to get aggressive, and that method won't work too much, but it will still work with the right side ghosts. So now I'm going to just shoot the relic over and over. And I'm going to do the same method. So now I'm going to crouch. I'm going to wait patiently because this is really a boring method. I really hate this method. It's so boring, but I just didn't have the patience to go all the way from the right side, pick up the relic, and then go from the right. That's basically what you have to do to make this run efficient and faster. You go from the left side, you pick it up, you shoot the Saphathon from the left side. I just didn't want to redo this run again. So the boss is behaving. You can see I crouch, I pull back, and the boss was behaving. Notice that the right ghost Saphathon is not aggressive right now unless I pick up the relic. So when I pick up the relic, then the Saphathon ghost is gonna fly towards the relic. You'll see very soon of what I mean. So you could just keep doing DPS as Saphathon goes from the left side. And the right side won't be too aggressive. I mean, he will, but because we're going to this side, I can't really hide from Saphathon Ghost, but you can see he's flying mid. I crouch, waiting for him to get bored. See? Notice that he's shooting from where I was trying to get the relic. So eventually he'll get bored and fly away. Please, Saphathon Ghost, just fly away. My goodness, this takes a long time. I really don't like this method. I really hate it, but I just didn't have the patience anymore to deal with this GM for this season. Now, if I was on Hunter or a Invis build, Prismatic, I would just turn invisible and grab the relic quickly from the other side too. But it's just really boring. I mean, look, now he's behaving. Like, okay, yay, he's behaving. Great. So now I'm going to do a mini time skip here until we got the Saphathon Ghost from the right side to be more aggressive. So if you notice, the Saphathon Ghost is now pushing towards the, the cheese spot. And yes, I did almost fall down. That was my bad for that. But now you see two of them shooting arc Kai Blast. So right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to wait for the Saphathon from the right side to get bored and fly away. Like I said, this method's really boring. But eventually, once you crouch, the boss from the right side is going to get bored. I mean, you don't have to use Amplify. I don't know why I was using Amplify for this. I was just trying to be super cautious. You can see that the boss is bored of me, and I grabbed a relic. I go and do DPS from the left side. Left side goes, not right. Do not do any damage at the Saphathon from the right side. Trust me. Then you're going to be stuck with two ghosts of guarding the relic. Alright, so now we took down the Sapathon from the left side. Now you could do DPS at the right Sapathon goes. Just make sure you clear down all the ads from the left side. I think I missed some. So usually what you do here, I haven't figured out the right spot to shoot the relic because it's been a long time, but usually you could just grab this relic and then just keep shooting the boss. Eventually he will move from the right side, and when he moves to the right side, it's a bit more easier to deal with the boss or to do DPS as Sapathon goes. But you can see I should have maybe pushed a little bit further to do DPS at the boss. But then I had all these acolytes in the way, but it's alright. I mean, it beats better than dealing with the ghosts. But yeah, my relic staff was keep missing, and I really despise this. But I should have jumped a little bit more. Now I was jumping, but then I was hurting my guardian. So I said, wow, this is really annoying. Yep, this is perfect. Now he's gonna move a little bit more all the way from the right side. So I'm happy that he's cooperating. I mean, finally, Sapathon goes as cooperating behaving. I think my most trouble for this was trying to figure out the best spot to shoot the relic. Because my shots were keep missing. And then another thing that bothered me was these acolytes keep pushing towards me. And one just lags and appears. I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. I have to use my super. So when this happens, use your super. And yeah, this was ridiculous. My goodness. Did you guys see that? The Hyper Nova Bane teleported in front of me. Like, how am I supposed to dodge that? Alright, it teleported and then it just wanted to do kamikaze or just go hypernova on me. There was no choice. I had to use and waste my super. I mean, I had to save my life. I didn't want to waste 50 minutes of my life there. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Gosh, that is so irritating. You know, I was just really happy that I had my super and I just used it. But yeah, when the Hypernova does use his Nova, make sure you use your melee, because sometimes the Hypernova can push you off the map. And I know it sounds silly, but I'm not joking, I'm serious. He really, the Hypernova can actually push you off the map when you're on your Roman super. So you have to be very, very careful. I think they secretly buffed these Hypernovas because I was using my linear fusion rifle and it still wasn't doing enough damage. And remember, I was using particle reconstruction and it still wasn't doing enough damage. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, I was just really sleepy for this run. You don't really have to go to the cheese, but I was just trying to figure out where the boss was going to stand. And usually the boss stands from the right side, but you can make the boss stand from the left side. Because of this, I wasn't really 100% sure. But just go to the left side. So I'm going to many times skip myself. Eventually, I'm going to go to the left side. Realized that I should have just stayed from the left side. Now you just do the same DPS that you've been doing from the first DPS phase. So I'm going to be using my linear fusion rifle just to get this done and over it. But yeah, I think the hardest part is just the 2 Sapathon goes. You have to pick up the relic from the other side and from the left. Or you gotta hide. You gotta play hide and seek with the Sapathon ghosts from the right and then just pick up the relics. It's really awkward. It's really weird. I mean, it's dangerous. It's the fastest method, but it's so dangerous. But anyway, we finally took down the wizard. Remember to crush the ghost. We finally took down the wizard. Remember to crush the ghost. And we got platinum. Even though I skipped that wannabe fake titan. I was just so disappointed in him. I didn't want to go one-on-one on him again. So we finally took down a wizard and we got platinum. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.